What's up everybody, Jason with HOJ Forge. Today we're going to be making some knife tongs. Before we get to that, if you want to check out the links in the description, I'll link to my Etsy store, my Facebook page, my web page, and all of that. You can check out what's available for sale. And Way of Knife is now, it's a local shop in Traverse City, Michigan. They're going to be pretty much, if I'm not selling a knife myself, they're going to be my dealer. So you can order through them. They'll have pictures and descriptions of everything that is available through them. If it's available through them, it's not available through me. If it's available through me, it's not going to be available through them. But there we go. Alright, so I am not an amazing tong maker, but I have made all my own tongs. And I just got a question recently about making these tongs right here, which are really good at holding like leaf spring. This is a piece of a drop tine or drag tine or whatever they're called, plowshare, I don't know. But it works well for leaf springs too. And so these are what I made for that, and they're decent. They do all right. Normal V-bit tongs are what I use once the knife gets down to knife shape. Oh, here's one I was working on, but you know, that's just what I use, and then smack it on the anvil and whatnot, and I'll adjust these to size as I need to, so my hand isn't always like that. While I was at Dave McConnell's house forging up that hammer that we did in a previous video, he showed me a pair of tongs that were made for him by, you know, someone that taught him. I forgot who he said he got them from, but I was looking at those tongs and he was showing me how they work, and they are the cat's meow, man. It is like the perfect, I want to say the perfect knife tong. So I'm going to try making a pair of these. I have no idea if it's going to work. If it doesn't work, you're never going to see this video. If it does work, the video is going to be titled, How to Make the Best Knife Tongs in the World. So if you're seeing this video, let's go make the best knife tongs in the world. Alright, so to make these, I'm going to start off with a hunk of, I guess it's probably 3/4 inch round. Half-inch, I think, might work, but they're going to be a little too flimsy for me, so I'm going with a little bit thicker stuff here. So the first thing I want to do is isolate about 3 inches or so. I hope. And just flatten it. Okay, so the next thing is we need to define where the rivet's going to go. What is that? The boss of the tong? I don't know. I'm not a tong maker, so I don't know. But I'm going to take it and flatten this out right there. And that will be where the rivet goes. So I think we're good. So that gives us the offset. And now we need, so how do we do it? We did it that way, so now we need to do it that way. And come down. Now, we do it that way and come down. Yeah. So, now comes the fun part. What we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is take a chisel and chisel down through the center of this puppy. Actually, I don't want to use that hammer. I'm just marking this right now so that I can see it, but and we don't want to go to the edge. I'd say I'm going to stick back, 3/8 of an inch from the edge. So all I want to do when we're all said and done here is have a slit all the way through the middle. And then I'm going to open it up much like I was making a giant bottle opener. Okay, so now that I've got a hole all the way through there, I'm gonna take probably a hammer eye drift or something and drift it open a little bit so it will fit over the horn so I can round these off. The last time this drift was used was when I made this hammer that I'm using as my striking tool because I don't want to ruin my good hammer and marking it up and stuff. And this I'm likening to doing a bottle opener. Maybe if we can get it open a little more. Okay, now that we got a nice round circle, I'm going to, well, I should probably measure it so I can make the next one the same size. We're exactly 2 inches inside diameter, and now I'm going to close this back up. So it's easier to work the other side. So I'm not closing it all the way up, I'm going to leave it like that, just to make it easier to come in and yeah, work it when I'm ready to do the final sizing. But for now, I'm going to go cool this off and then switch to this end and make the exact same side, and then I'll draw the reins out from in the middle. Alright, so there's one side, there's the other side. They meet in the middle. I'm going to go cut this probably right in half and draw the reins out. I don't know how long they'll be, but looks like they should be long enough. I don't know, I like a sturdy tong. I don't like my reins real thin, so even though it makes the tongs a little heavier, I like to have some meat in them so there's some grip to them. And in case I forgot to mention, make sure you do mirror images, not mirror, the exact same image. Copy the tong, don't do a mirror image. I've made that mistake a bazillion times in my tong making. You do not want a mirror image on the tong. You want them to look exactly the same, because you're going to flip one over and boom, there's your mirror. But anyways, here we go. Alright, so there's the two halves. They're going to go together, something like that. What I'm going to do is go clean up this joint with a file. You could use an angle grinder or your belt sander or whatever, but I think just a couple of quick zips with a file will get them right where I want them, and then we can, what are we going to do next? Then we'll mark where the rivet's going to go, and then we'll put them to their final shape and put them together. We're almost done. So that's them cleaned up, and now they fit a lot better. So now I need to mark where the rivet's going to go, and you can either drill it, but since I've done everything here by hand already, I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and punch it. so I cut a rivet out of some, probably what, 3/8, which I'm going to put in, but I want to put these ends to their final shape before I put the rivet in. So I got a little shaping to do. The tongs are going to go together like that, and I want just the very end to bend up. I mean, just like the last ½ inch maybe. And then I've got to get these spaces. I'm gonna set mine to handle those drop tine, drag tine things from the agricultural equipment, because I use a lot of those. But you could set it for leaf springs, you could set it for whatever. And then you can always change it. It's not like you can't change your tongs around, but let me heat these back up and we'll put them to shape. I'm about as good at putting rivets in things as I am at making tongs. So, I'm just going to bend that down a little bit so it doesn't fall through. I can go heat that side. Holy smokes, that could be the best riveting job I've ever done. So there we are. They came out better than I was expecting. Huh. They're still a little tight, but they'll loosen up with some time. But I mean, if you can see it, I don't know. It's just an amazing way to hold steel when you're working on a knife or something, and it doesn't have to be the thickness. So I don't have any thinner steel, but I've got my ruler here, just an aluminum ruler, which is quite a bit thinner than the stock I was using, but see these hold it in place so it can't change laterally, and then as long as it's tight enough to close on these, it may shift just a tad, but I mean really it's quite firm. That's not coming out. And so I absolutely love these tongs. You can make them whatever size. You want to hold smaller stock, you want to actually hold the knives, you know, as they're getting close to done. I feel like that's too big for this knife, but then you just bend these down a little bit less, and I mean stick them in the fire and adjust them a little bit, and you could hold something as small as a knife, something as large as a leaf spring. So it's really cool, and I'm really excited. I'm geeked. I don't do well making tongs, but I'm really pumped about these ones. So hopefully it helped you out. And I guess you'll see the video because they worked. Yay! I will title it something. I don't know. Hey, have a great day. Check out all the Etsy store and everything else. And yeah, no, I'm not going to be making these for sale. This took me about 3 hours. So does anybody want to pay $150 for a pair of tongs? I didn't think so. Make them yourself. Have some fun. See ya!